Running down the carpet with 5 minutes of pop.
All right.
Sit down here.
This is, it's like a relay race. Good. Literally got in at midnight last night, so if I zone out halfway through an answer, I'm very, very sorry. Thank you. Thank you all for doing this. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to meet you.
And so, has it been a little bit more fun because Morgana's getting, more evil?
Oh yeah, come on. Good girl, bad girl, which you're gonna go for? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of felt like for the first few years she was playing the role that she felt that she should. She was a princess and she felt she should be good and sweet and nice. And now that she's finally sort of embraced her inner, I'm not allowed to swear, her inner dark side, it kind of feels like she's actually being who she is and she's being true to herself, which is nice. It's nice to play that because you feel like I'm actually being her, which is great. Plus it's way more fun being evil.
There's been a gradual evolution towards that, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's been nice from that point of view that it feels like it didn't happen all of a sudden, because then I think it's more believable because you can see her journey and you can understand why she's done it, and it makes it, I think, more of a sympathetic character, even though she is obviously going to become a villain. She's in a way sympathetic because you can understand that she has in fact been pushed to it. She's a victim of the circumstances that she's been put in, and she's not out and out evil. She is just trying to do the best that she can, and she's doing what she believes is right. The irony is she truly is Uther's daughter. They are in fact the same person. They have the same views on things. They're just coming from different sides of the coin. Oops.
So in terms of Morgana, are we going to see that lost year at all of what happened?
I don't think you need to. I think by the time you see her, it'll be very clear what happened in the year. I think it's very clear what she spent the year doing. I mean, are we talking about the lost year in season 4?
Yeah. So the one the transition from season 2 to season 3.
That year, no. Again, it's very clear. I think what happened in that year. I think it's a slower discovery of what she's done over the series, which I think is clever. They didn't introduce an entirely new character in season 3. They kept the old one, and you have this sort of lovely her playing both sides and this gradual transition into the character. I mean, the thing about Merlin is you know where they're going to be. You know that Morgana is ultimately going to be a dark magical presence, and Arthur's going to be king, and Guinevere's going to be queen, but you don't know how they're going to get there. And that's what season 3 is kind of about for her. It's about finding her journey towards that. And it's Merlin. It's never going to be easy. It's going to surprise you in a way that you weren't expecting. That's what makes it great.
Is there a temptation, do you think, once now that you're on this path, to sort of speed it up now? To really embrace it, or does it still have to be a gradual?
Oh God, if it was up to me, I'd have them speed it up at 90 miles an hour. But the producers are very clever. They're very smart men, and they know how long they want the show to go, and they know inside and out their storylines, and they've paced it, I think, very well, just to keep you interested enough and keep you guessing. And sure, there I think is this sort of idea that once she'll become evil and then that's it, but she's not evil in the way that everybody thinks she is. She's not cackling in a cave. She's not Macbeth's witches. She's still a sympathetic character. She has been driven to this, and I kind of think she's the hero of the story, but that possibly might just be my own spin on it because I love her so much, but whatever.
Possibly.
No, I'm right, got it down.
You mentioned it, and what's interesting, there was this one scene that we saw between her and Uther where she just literally spews venom at him and pretty much tells him she hates his guts. That was a very big moment for both of them.
It was.
So, and he was obviously crushed. What was it like for both of you to play that with him?
Harrowing. Tony's such a nice man. I wanted to hurt him. And he was, and when he was playing it, he was, he was acting, but he was crushed. And in my head, I'm going, oh, I'm making Tony upset. No, Katie, it's not real. It's not real. I think it was difficult to film, but at the same time, that for me was a direct lead on from the scene that I had with him where I woke up realizing that he was in fact my father, and that for me is a pivotal scene for Morgana because she's begging him to accept her, begging him, and he doesn't. He denies her to her face. She essentially tells him that she knows the truth, and he says, you're not enough, you're not good enough, and I'm not going to do it. And for her, I think that sealed the deal of the path that she was going on. Had he accepted her at that point, I think she would have, joined join the force, join the good side, you know. But because she didn't, I think the scene with him that you're talking about is her getting back at him for that. And I think most of what she did in the end of season 3 is as a direct result of being denied, you know.
So to that effect, I guess. So Arthur. So the whole thing at the beginning, like season 1, she kind of saw the good in him, that he wouldn't turn out to be like his father. And then she's gone for the year, and I get the whole thing with Uther, and like you were just talking about the reason why she hates him and he won't accept her. But now the whole thing with wanting to kill off Arthur, was that just more because now she's just kind of, her eye was on the throne and she wanted that, and that was it? Or
I don't think it's so much that she wants to kill Arthur so much. I think she's just on a path, and I think I don't think she's thought about it, because at the end of the day, the one person that's always helped her when she asks for help is Arthur. But I think she is so utterly committed to what it is that she needs to do that it's blinded her to everything else. And I don't think she's really even thinking about Arthur. I think she's thinking that this is my birthright, and if I take the throne, I will save people like me and I will no longer live in fear. I think that's what she's thinking. And I think part of her thinks that Arthur will be a ruler like his father, and that would not be good for her, obviously. That would mean possibly death for her. So I don't think she's thinking about Arthur as her brother. I think she's thinking about Arthur as a potential threat to her.
Gotcha.
So I think she's just single-minded. I think she's kind of a bit lost looking outside of the box. She's on a mission. I don't think she can see anything else beyond that. She's running on pure anger and pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
You know, what happens when that runs out, who knows? Crying in a corner maybe, but until that point she's doing great.
So as far as shooting, are you done with 4 and now going into?
Oh no, are you kidding? We're filming 4 now, and we're filming 4 till October. We still film it when it comes out, so it'll be out in England in September, and then we start up in October. We finish in October, and we get very nicely a couple of months off, which is very generous of them to do it, and then maybe we start another season. We don't know yet, so you know, it's the juggernaut that is Merlin. But it's weird, I've never been to America with it on, and it's just it's strange to see. I just can't quite wrap my head around the fact that everybody watches it. It's strange.
So obviously this is your first time. You only got here at midnight, so have you gotten a chance to see anything around the convention center yet?
Desperate to go out. Are you kidding me? I want to geek out and see as much stuff as I heard that possibly Mark Hamill is here, and I had a moment. They were like, so Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford are here, and I went, yeah, it was like all my Christmases. Really quite sad. And my brother's here. He came out for his birthday, so he's here as well, so we're going to get to wander around and be sad McGrath geeks together, if they'll let me out. I'm not quite sure. Gary is hovering everywhere we go.
Yeah.
But he is. But he's our general, and we are his soldiers. He is running a military campaign.
You can do what you want.
Just give him a good glare.
There's that Morgana look right there.
Yes, the evil smiles and smirks that we do so well.
You know, we were talking about it, that the other show based on the Arthurian legend is actually gone now. I mean, it's got to be gratifying that after really kind of a strange start here in the U.S. on NBC not doing well, and then finding a really solid audience on Sci-Fi, that's got to be gratifying.
Yeah, Sci-Fi supported us so well and still do, and they really got the show. You know, they really understood what it was and where it needed to be, and the one channel that needed to be on in America was Sci-Fi, and they absolutely committed to it, and we won the lottery with that. I mean, it was amazing for it to be on NBC, but with Sci-Fi, like I said, they got behind it completely, and they love it, and that makes you feel really great. And with the other show, with Camelot, it's not even the same. We never put it in the same box. I mean, Camelot's closer to Game of Thrones. It's closer to Borgias. It's on that kind of level. And while there is a character called Merlin, there's a character called Arthur, and there's a Bond girl playing Morgana, which is always fun for me. That was really, when I found that one out, I did have a plot. The best Bond girl in the last 15 years is playing the same role as you, and you're just like, oh, even on your best day, you do not want that comparison. But it is a different show, and I think it's a really good example of the Arthurian legend, how it can be retold in so many formats, and that's why it's a legend that's lasted so long. It is essentially the same legend, but it's a completely different telling. And you know, I think we never really felt threatened by it. In anything, it kind of helped us to have something different, and that, you know, you could see it and it was good for our profile. But I think it's much closer to Game of Thrones and much closer to the Borgias and things like that. And I'm glad it was Game of Thrones that didn't get cancelled, because it's my favourite book. Isn't it amazing? I saw the new one at the airport and it was like that big, and I was like, I can't carry it with me. I really can't. So I'll wait till I get home.
I've been reading it this trip.
Is it amazing?
I'm not saying it. Of course, it's amazing, but I won't say anything.
I'm so excited. My friend just got cast in the show, and I'm deathly jealous. I was like, I can't believe it. No. But you're going to tell me all the scripts, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to let me know what's happening.
You bet.
I've read the books, but just let me know.
So I guess something fun. If you could guest star on any show that's on right now.
Guest star anything with Nathan Fillion. Love him. Is that sad?
He's in the next.
He's in it.
It's one of the few times I think I'd just be like, Firefly, please, just touch my hand. Tell me, is Jane amazing? Jane's amazing. But if I could guest star in anything, Game of Thrones be just a dream. Simpsons, come on, everybody wants to be a guest star. I met Buzz Aldrin once, and I was less impressed that he'd walked on the moon and more impressed that he had voiced the Simpsons. How sad is that? It was the truth.
Well done.
So sad. But there's so many different. If I could have been on the West Wing when it was on, even if I could have walked in the background, that is seminal, beautiful TV. Anything with Joss Whedon. I mean, you could name it. TV now is not like TV was 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. I mean, for the most part, it's better than movies. And to be on a show like Merlin that sort of lives up to that, especially this year, we're filming on 35mm film. It's very filmic and vast. It feels like. Do you guys know the movie Krull? Please tell me you know Krull.
Yes, Krull.
Yes, there we go. So it's like Krull and Conan the Barbarian and Willow, that kind of fantasy, vast, adventure movie. That's what Merlin feels like this year. So I feel really proud to be on it. It's grown from this tiny little show with 5 sets in Cardiff to this vast worldwide thing that none of us could quite imagine.
What were you shooting on before then?
16 now.
Oh, 16,
So we've moved up to 35. We were always shot on film. We didn't do. I think with a show like this, you've already got to suspend so much disbelief because it's got magic and everything in it. If you shoot on high def, it makes it more difficult. But on film, you've got that sort of gloss, that romanticism, and I think that's one of the reasons why Merlin looks so beautiful is that you feel like you're watching a proper fantasy movie. It's no Krull, but
What it is, really.
Come on, in all fairness. I was thinking about, should they remake that movie? And I'm like, there's no way they could make it better. No. But they re-voiced the original actress as an English actress. And they re-voiced, and they didn't tell her until she went to the screening. Imagine that feeling. That's awful. I know. Sorry.
They just released the soundtrack to Krull, finally, the complete soundtrack.
No.
Yeah. You can probably find it.
You can probably find on musicians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
they actually.
So wait a second. So we've got Harrison Ford here, we've got Mark Hamill, and the soundtrack to Krull. This is like Christmas.
And I think the Morgan soundtrack too. That's like it's a big package.
God, I'm such a geek.
Welcome.
I'm possibly mine. Thank you.
One of us.
I'm quite happy and quite proud to be. Thank you very much. No, it is. I don't understand why they remake movies that were perfect to begin with. It makes something that didn't work. So I'm spazzing out now. I'm going off. Anybody got any more Merlin questions?
So you're looking forward to seeing the amount of people that are going to be in that
scared
room
there's gonna
compared
be-
to like the other Comic Cons that you've been to?
I'm scared that there's going to be no one. I'm really scared because there's so many amazing shows here. There's so much amazing stuff, films and so many really famous, important people, and I'm afraid that no one's going to turn up to
There's
Merlin.
also 120,000 people here, so
200,000 this year.
And one of the biggest rooms isn't used to.
They turned away like 8,000 people or something for the Game of Thrones thing. So, there's a lot of.
It was in a
You guys are set.
Okay, now I wasn't feeling too nervous, but now thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.